Chairman, again, thank you for holding this important hearing. I look forward to hearing the testimony of the witnesses on all of these issues and more. Thank you.
Before I call on the witnesses, we have a housekeeping. I'd just like to say, what's that? All right, we just lost one, so we'll wait. Dr. Cha, welcome.
Thank you, Chairman McCain, Ranking Member Reid, and distinguished members of the committee. So there used to be a time when North Korea and their actions were considered isolated acts by a lonely dictator who was harmless and just looking for some attention with really bad hair. I don't think people think that way anymore. Between 1994 and 2008, North Korea did 16 ballistic missile tests and 1 nuclear test. Since January of 2009, they have done 71 missile tests, including 4 nuclear tests. The leader in North Korea has made no effort to have dialogue with any other country in the region, not just the United States, but that includes China, South Korea, Russia. Absolutely no interest in talking. All of this translates to one of the most challenging strategic environments for the United States and its allies, and a very dark strategic cloud that is starting to dominate the skyline with regard to East Asia. Having said that, I think there's a silver lining to every dark cloud, and in this case, I think there are 4 that could help to inform an Asia-Pacific security initiative, as the Chairman mentioned. First, the North Korean threat provides opportunity for closer coordination of policy between the next government in South Korea, which will be elected May 9th, and Washington. New South Korean government cannot afford ideological indulgences in a renewed engagement or sunshine policy. It would be unwise, for example, for a new South Korean president on May 10th, presumably in the aftermath of more North Korean provocations and possibly a 6th nuclear test, to declare that he or she is reopening the Kaesong industrial complex. This would only serve to further marginalize South Korea's strategic position, as the new government would lose step with the United States, Japan, and even China. The U.S. is not averse to inter-Korean engagement. However, for it to be effective, such engagement must be used strategically and coordinated with an overall U.S. ROK strategy for negotiations and denuclearization. The second silver lining has to do with trilateral coordination. The United States should welcome an early meeting with the U.S. President and South Korea and Japan, presumably before President Trump's scheduled trip to the region in the fall. The goal of alliance coordination should be a collective security statement among the 3 allies, the United States, Japan, and Korea, that an attack on one constitutes an attack against all. The third silver lining relates to China. Beijing is unlikely to let off on the economic pressure on South Korea over the THAAD defense system for, I think, at least another 1 or 2 financial quarters. This will hurt South Korean businesses and tourism even more, but it should also spark serious thinking, strategic thinking in the United States and South Korea about reducing the ROK's economic dependence on China. Given the energy revolution in the United States and the removal of export restrictions, the 2 allies should think seriously about new bilateral energy partnerships that could reduce South Korean energy dependence on China and the Middle East. Washington and Seoul's policy planning offices can work together to map out a South Korean strategy for engaging India, as well as ASEAN countries. These new engagements should not be a temporary measure, but should be a serious effort at creating new markets for U.S. allies, products, production chains, and investment. The Chinese have proven with their coercion over the THAAD issue that South Korea's future welfare cannot be left in Chinese hands. Finally, the United States should encourage a new government in South Korea to take a stronger stand in supporting public goods off the Korean peninsula in neighboring waters. In particular, as part of a new engagement strategy with ASEAN, the U.S., with the support of South Korea, could show stronger will to discourage further militarization of the South China Sea. This would win partners among ASEAN countries and be a distinctly positive platform for the United States and its allies in the region. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Friedberg. Before we go to you, we do have a quorum now. President, I ask the committee to consider a list of 5,550 pending military nominations. All these nominations have been before the committee the required length of time. Is there a motion to favorably report these 5,550 military nominations to the Senate? Is there a second? All in favor say aye. The motion carries. Dr. Friedberg, welcome.
Senator McCain, Senator Reid, thank you very much. Members of the committee, I appreciate very much the opportunity to express my views on these important subjects. In the time available, I'd like to try to make three main points.